Have you ever wondered about the powerful gods of ancient Egypt? You know, the ones with animal heads like Re, Anubis, and Horus? Well, there's so much more to them than you see in movies. Let's dive deep into the fascinating world of Egyptian deities and uncover the secrets behind their myths. First, forget everything you think you know about gods just being characters and stories. For the ancient Egyptians, their gods were the very forces of nature. They weren't distant beings sitting on a cloud. They were believed to actively control everything, from the life-giving floods of the Nile River to the rising of the sun each morning. The health of your family, the success of the harvest, and even the stability of the entire kingdom were all in the hands of the gods. And here's a surprise. There was no single holy book like the Bible or the Quran. Our knowledge comes from thousands of years of temple reliefs, tomb inscriptions, magical papyri, and detailed records of rituals. It's a massive, complex puzzle that historians are still piecing together. Think there were just a handful of famous gods? Think again. Ancient Egypt had hundreds, maybe even over 1,500 named deities. Each city and region had its own local patron god, and traditions varied widely. A god worshipped in one town might have a completely different role in another. What's really cool is how these gods could change over time. They would sometimes merge, creating powerful new deities. The most famous example is Amun, a local god of Thebes who combined with the universal sun god Rhea to become Amun-Re, the supreme creator and king of all gods. This shows just how dynamic and adaptable their beliefs were. Now let's meet the superstar of the Egyptian pantheon, Ra, the sun god. Imagine him as the ultimate creator and king of the cosmos. Every single day, he would sail across the sky in his magnificent solar boat, bringing light and warmth to the world. But his journey didn't end at sunset. At night, he would descend into the dangerous underworld, battling the forces of chaos and darkness. His triumphant return every morning symbolized creation, the authority of the pharaohs, the victory of order over chaos, and the endless cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Ra was the engine of the universe. Next up is Osiris, the lord of the afterlife and resurrection. His story is one of the most famous and moving myths from Egypt. Osiris was a benevolent king on earth, murdered by his jealous brother, Seth. But his story doesn't end there. His devoted wife, Isis, pieced him back together and revived him with her powerful magic. After his resurrection, he couldn't return to the world of the living, so he became the ruler of the underworld, the realm of the dead. Osiris represented renewal, the growth of crops after the flood, and the promise of eternal life. This belief directly shaped Egyptian burial practices, including the elaborate process of mummification, all to prepare the deceased for their journey to Osiris's kingdom. Speaking of Isis, she was arguably the most beloved and popular goddess in all of Egypt. She was the ultimate goddess of magic, healing, and motherhood. Her loyalty and power were legendary. Not only did she revive her husband Osiris, but she also fiercely protected their son Horus from the wrath of Seth. Isis was seen as a divine mother and a powerful protector, a figure people could turn to for help in their daily lives. Her influence was so immense that her worship spread far beyond Egypt's borders, reaching all the way into the Greek and Roman empires, where she was revered for centuries. And that brings us to their son, Horus. Usually depicted with the head of a falcon, Horus was the god of the sky, a fierce protector, and the ultimate symbol of kingship. After a series of epic battles, he defeated his uncle Seth to avenge his father and claim the throne of Egypt. From that point on, every single pharaoh was considered the living embodiment of Horus on earth. When a pharaoh ruled, it was Horus ruling. The famous Eye of Horus, or the Wadjet Eye, is one of the most recognizable symbols from ancient Egypt. It wasn't just a cool design. It symbolized healing, protection, and even complex mathematical fractions. Now let's talk about the guide of the dead, Anubis. With his iconic jackal head, Anubis was the guardian of tombs and the master of mummification. He watched over the embalming process, ensuring the body was properly preserved for the afterlife. His most critical role was in the weighing of the heart ceremony. Anubis would lead the soul of the deceased into the hall of judgment and weigh their heart against a feather. Why a jackal? Jackals were often seen scavenging around cemeteries, so the Egyptians associated them with death. By making a jackal-headed god the protector of the dead, they were symbolically turning a threat into a guardian, protecting the buried from decay and grave robbers. But what was the heart weighed against? It was weighed against the feather of Mat. Mat was both a goddess and a fundamental concept. She represented truth, justice, balance, and the cosmic harmony that held the universe together. She was the principle of right and order. If a person's heart, which was believed to hold the record of all their deeds, was lighter than or equal to her feather, they were granted eternal life. If it was heavier with sin, it was devoured by a monster, and their souls ceased to exist. Mat was the moral compass of the entire Egyptian civilization. So why all the animal heads? It's important to understand this was purely symbolic, not literal. The Egyptians didn't think their gods were actual human-animal hybrids. They used animals to represent specific qualities of the gods. The falcon, with its sharp eyesight and soaring flight, symbolized the vision and power of the sky god Horus. The jackal represented the protection of the dead for Anubis. The cat, a protector of the home from pests, symbolized protection and fertility for the goddess Bastet. The crocodile, a powerful and dangerous river predator, symbolized strength and authority for the god Sobek. These animal forms were a visual shorthand for the god's abstract powers. Finally, and this is key, Egyptian religion was never static. It was a living, breathing system that was constantly evolving over thousands of years. Gods rose and fell in popularity, their roles changed, and they merged with others based on political shifts, regional traditions, and cultural exchange. This belief system was woven into the very fabric of society, influencing everything from government and law to medicine, astronomy, and the incredible architecture of the pyramids and temples. It was a holistic worldview where the divine, the natural, and the human were all deeply interconnected. So the next time you see an image of an Egyptian god, remember the incredible depth and symbolism behind it. It's a window into a civilization that saw the universe as a living, magical place. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into ancient Egypt, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more adventures into history. See you next time.